शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। कठोपनिषद अध्याय 2 वल्ली 3 मंत्र 12। नैव वाचा न मनसा प्राप्तुं शक्यो न चक्षुषा अस्तीति ब्रुवतोऽन्यत्र कथं तदुपलभ्यते। To establish the existence of Brahman as the cause of the universe, Bhashyakara presented a logic. Now he is presenting another logic. We will read Moolam chet jagatah nasyat asadanvitam eva idam karyam asadityeva grihyeta न तु एतदस्ति सत्सदित्येव तु गृह्यते। So this is a very good answer to a Shunyavadi who says everything came from asat, everything came from non-existence. If everything came from non-existence, then non-existence is the cause of the universe. Asat is the cause of the universe. If Asat is the cause of the universe, what would have happened? You should have recognized everything as Asat. The cause is recognized in the effect. In all the ornaments made of gold, you recognize gold. Golden bangle, golden necklace, golden ring, golden chain, golden chudamani, Chudamani is another ornament. Golden Kundala, golden Keyura, golden Nupura. So I don't know the English name, so I am using Sanskrit words. So various ornaments. So they are all recognized as golden. Means the cause is recognized in the effect. Similarly, if everything is made from Asat, then you should have recognized everything as Asat, non-existent table. For a Shunyavadi, it is a non-existent table. Non-existent me is seeing the non-existent table. But it is not so. You recognize everything as Sat. Sanghataha. Table is. Pot is. Cloth is. The is recognized in everything. Existence is recognized in everything. Therefore, the cause of the universe cannot be Asat. It has to be Sat. See the Bhashya. Moolam ched jagataha na syat. Jagataha moolam, the cause of the universe. Na syat. If it is not there, if it is non-existence, then asadanvitam eva idam karyam. This karyam, this universe which is the karya, effect, should have been associated with Asat, should have been associated with the non-existence. And asadityeva grihyeta. It should have been recognized as Asat. Asanghataha, asanpataha ityadi. Natu etadasti, but it is not so. Etad evam na asti. We don't recognize things as Asat. Instead, Sat sadityeva. Sadityeva to grihyate. Everything is recognized as existing. Everything is recognized as associated with existence. Yatha mridadikaryam ghatadi mridadyanvitam tasmat jagataha moolam atma asti iti eva upalabdhavyaha. Yatha mridadikaryam ghatadi mridadi anvitam. Just as mridadikaryam, the effect of clay, etc., mrit adi, clay, etc., their karyam, their effects, ghatadi, pot, etc., how they are associated with the clay, mridadyanvitam. Similarly, since everything is associated with the Sat, we should understand that everything is the effect of Sat. Tasmat, therefore, because of the above reasons, jagataha moolam atma, atma, Brahman, which is the cause of the universe, asti ityeva upalabdhavyaha. It should be understood as asti, as existence. Kasmat Yeah, why we should recognize the Brahman as existing, why we should accept Brahman as existing, what is the purpose of recognizing Brahman as existence, why we should accept the presence of Brahman, because only when you accept the presence of Brahman, only when you have Shraddha in the presence of Brahman, you can get the true understanding, proper understanding of Brahman. Brahma Jnana is possible. If one doubts the presence of Brahman, one will not be able to pursue the Brahma Jnana successfully. And then one will not get Atma Jnana. Therefore, Astiti Bruvataha Astitvavadinaha Agamarthanusarinaha Shaddadhanat Anyatra Nastitvavadini Nasti Jagataha Moolam Atma Niranvayam Eva Idam Karyam Abhavantam Praviliyate Iti Manyamani Viparitadarshini Katham Tad Brahma Tattvataha Upalabhyate Na Kathanchana Upalabhyate Ityarthaha. So, Astiti Bruvataha Anyatra. Astiti Bruvataha. One who says Asti. One who accepts Asti. One who accepts Brahman as Asti, existing. Brahman is there. One who accepts so. He is called Astitvavadin. One who accepts the presence of Brahman. And on what basis does he accept the presence of Brahman? Agamarthanusarinaha. Following the teaching of Agama. Following the teaching of the Shastra. The Shastra says Brahman is. The Shastra says there is Brahman. Since he has Shraddha in the Shastra, since he has Pramanya Buddhi in the Shastra, he accepts the presence of Brahman. Now one might as well ask, even the logic can establish the presence of Brahman. But then one should also understand that one can keep arguing. Though Shankaracharya has presented some logics, despite these logics, one can keep arguing. Tarkaha apratishtaha kutarkasya nisthana vidyate kvachit. Kutarka can continue. How can you say it is? Why not it be conditioning? A gentleman argued with me so when I went to some ashrama. So he had his shelves book full of books. All types of books. Buddhism, J.K., Osho. And then he said everything is conditioning. How can you say there is Brahman? Then I asked him, are you not there? Then he is doubtful about his own existence. Why can't it be conditioning as well? Even my presence can be conditioning. Now what can you tell him? I said, okay, fine. All the best. We have to pray to such people, for such people. Therefore, logics is inconclusive. We have to take refuge at Agama, take refuge at Shastra Pramana. Agamarthanusarinaha. Shraddadhanat. And he has Shraddha in the Shastra. Anyatra, other than him. Nastitvavadini. One who is a Nastitvavadi. How does he argue? Nasti jagataha moolam atma. Jagataha moolam atma na asti. There is no jagataha moolam. There is no cause of the universe, which you call atma. Niranvayameva idam karyam, this whole universe, which you call karya, effect of Brahman. It is niranvayam eva. It does not have a cause. And even if it has a cause, it cannot be existence. It has to be non-existence. Therefore, if at all the universe resolves, it will resolve into a void. Abhavantam praviliyate. Everything resolves into a void, into non-existence. Iti manyamane nastitvavadini. The nastitvavadi who thinks so, who holds this view, viparita darshini, and he is a viparita darshi. His vision is contrary to the vision revealed by the Shastra. Shastra viruddhartha darshini. His understanding is diagonally opposite to that of the Shastra. Katham tad brahma tattvata upalabhyate. How he can understand the Brahman clearly, properly, tattvataha, the true nature of Brahman. In terms of the true nature of Brahman, how can he understand Brahman? Na kathanchana upalabhyate ityarthaha. Katham is aksheparthe. Therefore, Bhashyakara says, na kathanchana upalabhyate ityarthaha. Brahman cannot be understood by any means if one does not have Shraddha. When the Shastra says there is Brahman. Only when he accepts there is Brahman, he will make proper effort to understand what really Brahman is. And then in due course of time, he understands, yes, I am Brahman. Brahman alone is Satyam. In due course of time, after a length of exposure to the Shastra, after a length of exposure to the teaching, he understands Brahman with the clarity. If he has Shraddha. if he doesn't have Shraddha, he thinks he is intelligent and holds on to his own views, then no chance. Mantra 13. अस्तीत्येवोपलब्धव्यः तत्त्वभावेन चोभयोः अस्तीत्येवोपलब्धस्य तत्त्वभावः प्रसीदति. Brahmajnana takes place in 2 stages. It is one way of looking at. Don't compartmentalize. Now I am in stage 1, now I am in stage 2. Not so. It's a way of looking at it. Stage 1 is Paroksha Jnanam. When you understand Brahman as something remote, seemingly remote, and you accept Brahman as existing. There is Brahman. Brahma asti. This understanding is Paroksha Jnana. The spiritual pursuit begins with the Paroksha Jnana. And to a great extent, the spiritual pursuit happens with the Paroksha Jnana. Even Karma Yoga, there is Brahman, there is Ishvara, and therefore let me offer the karma to Ishvara. Karma Yoga happens with the Paroksha Jnana. And to a great extent, even Bhakti happens with the Paroksha Jnana. Upasana happens with the Paroksha Jnana. Saguna Brahma Dhyana all happen with the Paroksha Jnana. And in due course of time, when you do Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, slowly the Aparoksha Jnana dawns. You understand the true nature of the Atma, the true nature of Brahman as your own self. Then it is Aparoksha Jnana. Aham Brahmasmi. Asmi Brahma. Instead of Asti, Brahman becomes Asmi. Instead of Bhavati, it becomes Bhavami. Instead of Prathama Purusha, it becomes Uttama Purusha. Aham Brahmasmi. It is Aparoksha Jnana. When it comes to Paroksha Jnana, we understand Brahman as Sopadhika. Paroksha Jnana is Sopadhika Rupa of Brahman. you understand the Sopadhika Rupa of Brahman. Brahman with the Upadhi. Because the Shruti introduces Brahman as Jagat Karanam to begin with. The student is familiar with the Jagat. When a new thing has to be introduced, it has to be introduced in relation to something that we already know. If something is introduced and it is not at all related to anything that you know, you have no way of relating to it. In fact, that is Brahman. Brahman is not at all related to anything. Asanga. It has no relation with anything in true terms. If Brahman is taught in its true nature, a beginner, a student cannot relate to Brahman. There is Brahman who is Asanga, one without a second. He will ask, what will I do with that Brahman? The student is accustomed to the universe. The universe is very much present for him, very much real for him. Then the Shruti introduces Brahman in relation to the universe. You see the universe. Just think where the universe has come from. The cause of the universe. Then the student starts thinking, such a gigantic universe, magnificent universe, it cannot come from something small. It has to be something infinite. And there is intelligence in the universe. The scheme of the universe, the creation seems to be full of intelligence. Everything is intelligently put together, intelligently assembled. Even the human body or any plant body or any cell, intelligently assembled, intelligently structured. Therefore, the cause of the universe should have intelligence. Therefore, the universe should have come from a Sarvajna, one who has all knowledge, and one who is infinite in nature. That kind of Sarvajna and infinite substance is Brahman. That is how the Shruti introduces Brahman in relation to the universe. In relation to the universe, Brahman is Karana. the Karanatva of Brahman is in relation to the universe. In its own nature, Brahman is not Karana. Just like the father becomes father, let's say someone is Devadatta. Devadatta is father only in relation to his son. When he has a son, he is called father. Therefore, the father's status of Devadatta is because of the son. In his own nature, he is just Devadatta. Similarly, in relation to the universe, Brahman is Karana. The Karanatva of the universe is constituted by the universe, the Karya. Therefore, the Shruti introduces Brahman in relation to the universe as Karana. Brahman is introduced in relation to the universe, associated with, qualified by Karanatva. Now, neither the universe nor the cause status of the universe are the nature of the Brahman. They are external to Brahman. Just like neither the son nor the father status is the intrinsic nature of Devadatta. They are external to Devadatta. But we see Brahman, we recognize Brahman along with the universe, which is external to Brahman. Such a Brahman is called Sopadhika Brahma. Brahman with Upadhi. Brahman with the universe, associated with the universe. Universe acts an Upadhi for Brahman. To recognize Brahman as the cause. So it is Sopadhika Brahma. Karanatva Vishishtam Brahma. The Brahman associated with the Karanatva is Sopadhika Brahma. And the Karanatva is constituted by the Jagat, the universe. So initially, the Vedanta introduces Sopadhika Brahma. Then the same Upanishad negates the universe. The universe is negated. Neti neti asthulam ananu ityadi. The universe is negated. And to negate the universe, we can use various logics in support of the negation that is given by the Shruti. The Jagat is mithya. If the Jagat is mithya, then the cause status of Brahman is also mithya. The karanatva of Brahman also is mithya. Then what happens? Brahman is just Brahman, without even having the status of Jagat Karanam. You arrive at that. It is the Nirupadhika Rupa of Brahman. The nature of Brahman without upadhi, without any external qualification, without any external factor qualifying it. And the Nirupadhika Rupa is the true nature of Brahman. Therefore, the Shruti calls it Tattva Bhavaha, the true nature of Brahman. Nirupadhika Rupa is called Tattva Bhavaha. अस्तीत्येवोपलब्धव्यः तत्वभावेन च उभयोः. Initially, asti ityeva upalabdhavyah. Brahman should be understood as asti, existing. Brahma asti. And then tattva bhavena cha upalabdhavyah. Tattva bhavena, in its true nature, Brahman should be understood. Later on, Ubhayoho, among the two, Astitva, understanding the existence of Brahman, which is the Paroksha Jnana, understanding the Sopadhika Rupa of Brahman, and Tattva Bhava, understanding the Nirupadhika Rupa of Brahman, which is Aparoksha Jnana. Among the two, Astityevopalabdhasya, one who understands Brahman as Asti, Asti ityeva upalabdhasya, one who understands Brahman as Asti, only for such a person, Tattva Bhava prasidati, the Tattva Bhava presents itself. The true nature of Brahman makes itself available. The Nirupadhika Rupa of Brahman makes itself available, reveals itself. Therefore, to understand the Tattva Bhava, initially one should accept the Astitva of Brahman. Tasmat apohya asadvadipaksham asuram asti ityeva atma upalabdhavyah satkaryah buddhyadyupadhihi. Tasmat, therefore, Asadvadipaksham asuram apohya. Asadvadipaksham, the view of the one who negates the existence of Brahman. Asadvadi, one who says Brahman does not exist. His paksha, his view, it is asuram, it is asura paksha. The asuras take to such a view. Asuras means asushu ramante iti asuraha. Those who revel in the body, like Charvakas. Charvakas are very much interested in the body. They glorify the body as the end of life, as the goal of life. Such people are asuraha. And the asadvadi paksha is asura paksha. It is the view of asuras. Bhashyakara says, don't become an asura. If you become asura, you won't get moksha. Astityeva atma upalabdhavyaha. Atma asti ityeva upalabdhavyaha. Atma should be understood as asti. Satkaryaha. And to understand the Atma as asti, one should understand it in relation with the karya. Satkaryaha means sat means upalabhyamanam. Here sat means upalabhyamanam. Karyam yasya saha satkaryaha. Whose karya, whose effect is available to us. The effect of Brahman is seen, is visible to us. Since the effect is visible, we can understand Brahman as the cause. Buddhyadyupadhihi, buddhyadi, buddhi, etc., which are the karya. The whole universe is called karya. It is the karya of Brahman. Buddhyadi, buddhi, manaha, indriyani, shariram, and everything is the karya of Brahman. So the karya acts as upadhi. Here upadhi should be understood in a slightly different sense. Upadhi means parichayaka. Like Devadatta. Devadatta's son is the upadhi because the son gives him the status of father, father status. Similarly, for Brahman, the universe gives the cause status. The one that gives cause status to Brahman is the universe. Therefore, it is the karanattvasya upadhihi. The upadhi which causes karanatva, which confers karanatva on Brahman. So, buddhyadyupadhihi means in relation to buddhi, etc., which is its karya. Means as the cause of the universe, Brahman should be understood as existing. Yad yadatu tadrahitaha avikriyaha atma karyancha karanavyatirекена nasti वाचारम्भणं विकारो नामधेयम् मृत्तिका इत्येव सत्यम् इति श्रुतेः. Here तदा तस्य निरुपाधिकस्य अलिङ्गस्य सदसदादिप्रत्ययविषयत्ववर्जितस्य आत्मनः तत्त्वभावः भवति. So, we will take a karyancha starting from that portion first. So, this has to be split into two different sentences. So, one sentence is in between. We will look at that first. Karyancha karanavyatirекena nasti. So, initially cause-effect relation is introduced between Brahman and Jagat. Then there are two things. One is cause, another is effect. This is adhyaropa. In the process of teaching Brahman, we use adhyaropa and apavada. Adhyaropapavadabhyam nishprapancham prapanchate. The nishprapancham Brahma, Brahman which is free from prapancha, is revealed by the stages of adhyaropa and apavada. Initially it is adhyaropa. When you introduce Brahman as Jagat Karanam, you are doing adhyaropa. First of all, you are accepting the presence of Jagat. This itself is an adhyaropa. And then you are accepting Brahman as the Karana. Even Karanatva is adhyaropa. Brahman does not have real Karanatva. You are accepting Karanatva in Brahman. You are accepting the cause status of Brahman for the time being. Even that is adhyaropa. So, astityevopalabdhavyaha is adhyaropa. See, so many details are there if you have to understand this mantra. And then the second stage, tattvabhavena, it involves apavada, negation. What is negated? Karyam, Jagat is negated. Karyancha karanavyatirекена nasti. The karya does not exist independent of karana. The karyam, Jagat, does not exist other than the karanam, Brahma. Therefore, the karya is mithya. That is how the apavada is done. And in support of this, he quotes Shrutivakya. The Shrutivakya which negates the Jagat. Vacharambhanam vikaro namadheyam mrittika ityeva satyam iti shrutehe. Vacharambhanam vikaro namadheyam mrittika ityeva satyam. A statement from Chandogyopanishad. It negates the reality of the effect. Vikara, effect, is Vacharambhanam, means it is available for transaction, but Namadheyam, it is just namesake, implying it does not have any reality, it does not have any substance. Therefore, Karyam Mithya. That is how Jagat is negated. And when Jagat is negated, Brahman loses its Karanatva. It is like the dream sun. Because of dream sun, Devadatta got father status in the dream. When Devadatta discovered, my dream son is not there. The son was only in dream. Then Devadatta has no father status. The dream father status does not make him a real father. Similarly, the Karanatva is also Mithya. Karanatva and Ishwaratva also. Jagat Karanatva is Ishwaratva. When we look upon Brahman as Jagat Karanam, Brahman is called Ishvara. The word Ishvara is also a relation word. In terms of the universe, Brahman is called Ishvara. So when the Jagat is negated, Ishwaratva also is negated. See, in Vedanta, we don't say Ishvara is Mithya. This statement we don't make. Ishvara is Mithya, we don't make this statement. But Ishwaratva is Mithya. The status of being Ishvara is Mithya. You can make that statement. Ishvara is not Mithya. Why? Ishvara is Brahman. Devadatta is not in dream. But the father status of Devadatta was only in dream. You understand the difference between these two. So when the Jagat is negated, Brahman is not even Karana, just Brahman. Ekameva Dvitiyam Brahma. One without a second. Without any relation to anything. See, Yadatu tadrahitaha avikriyaha atma. When tadrahitaha means karya upadhi rahitaha. When the Atma is free from the upadhi, which is the karya, then tada, now you have to jump to tada, tasya nirupadhikasya, then you get the nirupadhika Atma. Then the Atma is nirupadhika, free from karya and free from karanatva. Both karya and karanatva are upadhis. Nirupadhikasya, alingasya, and the Atma is alinga, free from all samsara dharma. Sarva samsara dharma varjitaha. Sadasadadi pratyaya vishayatva varjitasya. And Brahman is free from sat asat adi pratyaya vishayatva. Brahman does not become an object of Sat cognition. Brahman does not become an object of Sat cognition. Sat means is. Available as object is Sat. Upalabhyamanam is Sat in this context. So Brahman does not become an object of Sat cognition, means Brahman is not available as object. So Sat pratyaya vishaya varjitasya. Upalabhyamana pratyaya vishaya varjitasya. And Asat pratyaya vishaya also. Brahman is not an object of Asat cognition also. Non-available, not at all available, like a Shashavishana, rabbit's horn. Brahman is not such also. So this is a reference to Vidita Viditabhyam Anyat. Anyadeva Tadviditad Atho Aviditadadhi. Brahman is not recognized as object. In the meantime, Brahman is not avidita, not absolutely known at all, not evident at all. Even that is not correct. So, Sat, Asat, Adi, Pratyaya Vishaya Varjitasya, Vishayatva Varjitasya. Brahman does not become an object of any pratyaya, any cognition, like a Sat, Asat, etc. Means it does not become object. Atmanaha, that kind of Atma, Tattvabhavaha bhavati. The Tattvabhava is present then. The true nature of Atma is present at that time. Means it becomes known at that time. Tena cha rupena Atma upalabdhavyaha ityanuvartate. Tena cha rupena Atma upalabdhavyaha. Tena rupena means tattvabhavena, nirupadhika rupena. Atma upalabdhavyaha. Atma should be understood. Iti anuvartate. Astityevopalabdhavyaha. Tattvabhavena cha upalabdhavyaha. Upalabdhavyaha comes as anuvritti. It is another sutra. Another statement. In one statement is astityevopalabdhavyaha. Another statement is tattvabhavena cha upalabdhavyaha. Tatrapi ubhayoho sopadhika nirupadhikayoho astitva tattvabhavayoho. We'll see tomorrow, next session. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.